everybody, I'm Gina Shumway with T&G Homes. This is Korey Pell. And today we want to talk to you a little bit about Korey and what brought him into real estate, introduce him to you so that way you guys know who you're with. Korey, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for hand up, Gina. So my name is Korey. Nice to meet you guys. I am 20 years old, 21 in 30 days.
But who's counting?
Me, I'm counting. I got into real estate because I was always in business classes in high school. I love talking to people. I love public speaking, getting it out there. I'd say the biggest reason I jumped into real estate specifically, I wrecked a motorcycle, was supposed to pass away, heartwarming story, or gut-wrenching, one of the two. Same, you know what I'm saying. Was not supposed to be here, got out of the plans for me. I got out of the situation I was in, went back to the warehouse I was working at. I was making extremely good money and came to the realization that I could leave this earth at any moment. So I'd rather go and do something to help people out as well. So I like to talk to people. I like to help people that grew up or are still living in the same situation that I grew up in. And I want to help people get their own piece of paradise. I want them to have their own bedrooms and have their own showers, their own bathrooms, all the sort, because I didn't get to have that until I was a junior in high school. Shared a bathroom, shared a bedroom, shared everything. Pillowcases, all the stuff. Same size, twin size beds. And I want to have it to where people can have their own rooms. You know, you can be 13 years old and, you know, becoming a teenager, and you have your own room, your own privacy, where you really need it the most.
So you feel like that situation made you more resilient and have a, positive outlook on life?
I will say with my accident, it didn't give me a necessarily positive outlook on life. It gave me a more in-depth look on life. I now look at it like whenever I eat something, even if it's a bag of chips, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna say thank you for it. If I'm riding in traffic and I go to get over and somebody swings past me, you know, I'm gonna ask them, hey, can you, or I'll talk to God and I'll ask him for forgiveness for me if I lose my temper or anything like that. I talk a lot about my faith in general. You know, we're not supposed to have anxiety, we're not supposed to have stress because that's not given to us by God. And it's definitely strengthened my relationship tenfold. It's allowed me to have a more optimistic look at life. Not necessarily I'm just happy about everything, but it makes me to where I don't stress about the same things, I don't get as mad. Definitely it's changed me for a much better perspective. I'm so glad I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. And my biggest goal now in life is to help people while helping myself, while watching people grow while I grow. You can't help somebody you can't become great if you don't help people become great. So that's my big go-to. Yeah, that's about it. Is there any more questions?
Yeah, so what would you say, based off of your life experiences and you as a person, makes you a good agent? What makes you be a good advocate for your client?
Okay, I have always had the impression that you are supposed to talk to somebody like you've never met them before and like you will never meet them again. So you give them the most respect that you can in hopes that they give it back. I grew up in a Class C environment. I grew up on food stamps, Section 8, things of the sort. I grew up where I didn't necessarily fit in as an individual in the environment in which I was in. And I feel like that is something that's a positive to me. It was a con back in the way past whenever, you know, I thought that was just the worst thing ever. But now it's a positive, it's a pro to me because I can speak to any and everybody with no, I'm not gonna look at you different, I'm gonna speak to you different. You can have the most money in the world. It's definitely something that's, I guess, giving me a good outlook on the way that I approach people. Yeah, I talk to everybody the exact same way. I talk to Miss Gina the same way I talked to her the very first time I ever met her. So
always Miss Gina, every single time. We worked together for quite a while now, and it's always Miss Gina, yes ma'am, which I love. That's one of the things that I really like about you, Korey, is Korey exudes confidence. Everywhere we go, when there's somebody new, you would think that, you know, I as the team leader would just automatically go up and shake people's hand, and Korey beats me to it half the time. He's very good about introducing himself, looks you in the eye. He has a very natural and quiet confidence, and so he's very good at representing his clients because he speaks from a place of knowledge and respectful authority, and he goes above and beyond because he looks at everybody the same. Like he talks about, I can speak to that character. So one more question so we can wrap it up. My question would be, what is your favorite, like of all of your client base, what would you say would be like your dream client, or like what aspect of real estate do you love the most?
You want to get into a property to live in, but it's your first house, same way it's gonna be your first car. You get your first car, you're either gonna wreck it, or you're gonna sell it, or you're gonna grow out of it. Nobody keeps their first car. Who's gonna keep their first home? So if you buy your first home, you can buy a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex with a primary residence loan. You know, FHA conventional, first time home buyers conventional is 3% down, by the way. If you have a 720 or above credit score, exceptionally great. But if you get a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex, you live in that. If it's an FHA loan, you gotta live in there for a year. If it's conventional, you can live in there for 6 months, make it your primary residence. But after that 6 months or a year, you move out, you have somebody rent that site out that you were living in, you have somebody paying on your mortgage, plus more than likely some positive cash flow, you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. But I want to help those first-time home buyers get their first house, but also start their investment journey and gain financial freedom. So that's what I want to do the most of.
Yeah, I love that. And I think because of your upbringing and all the things that you talked about, it makes you such a good candidate for that, because you are kind of still in that same life, like same page of life. You're in the midst of it, you're doing it, and people, I think your clients relate to you really well. And so thank you, Korey, for sharing that. I know that some of that was very personal, but I think it helps people get to know who you are. And really, I think I can speak for most people in real estate, at least for me, my clients, especially the ones that I do multiple deals with or we work well together, they become more like friends. And so I think it's important for you to see who we are as people, but then also, we are subject matter experts. Again, this is Korey Pell. I really appreciate his honesty. I appreciate his faith. I appreciate him as a person, and I appreciate him as a person of high integrity and a great professional. So anyway, this is Korey Pell. If you're interested in working with him, just give us a call. Like and subscribe our page. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. We just created as well a new Facebook group called Master Chat, where we have like-minded investors and people, even if you're just wanting to relocate to Tennessee, whatever you need, you can reach us there. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Lastly, I'm starting up a podcast. If you guys want to hear about it, we'll be calling Chatting Real Estate. Chatting Real Estate is going to be the name of my podcast. I'll be talking about the markets within a 2-week time frame. So every 2 weeks, I'll be hosting the podcast. It's not going to be streamed. I'm going to record it and then edit it and then put it on YouTube probably the following Sunday. Every other Friday is when I'm going to be recording, talking about things. I'm going to start it off with, talking about the market trends, things of the sort. And I'll go into house hacking, and I'll go into first-time home buying in general if you just want just a house to know house hack. Then into investments and then things of the sort. So if you guys want to tap into that, there will also be links to that all over our social media platforms. So you want to get the last word so you can tell them.
Oh, we're good. Let's do this.
Woo!